Hi, this is Dr. Gregory Horton, and I thank you for taking the time to listen to this 3-part series. Now, yesterday we talked about death and how one can become better or become a better friend, and the things that you can do in order to help others to achieve their highest potential. We as human beings have a part to play in making this world a better place. And now we're at the crossroad where you have to decide the type of friend or the type of person you are. Will you make this world a better place, or will you be like everybody else, just go with the flow? So today we're going to talk about relationships and how relationships can help us to reach our highest potential, or how relationships can affect us from becoming the best version of ourselves. Now, when we were created in pairs, male and females. And what God knew is that when you find the right mate, you feel unstoppable, you feel invincible, you find a sense of joy and peace and happiness that money cannot buy. But sometimes when you have a relationship that is not the way you imagine it to be, it brings forth a lot of stress. It brings forth a lot of frustration. Now, there's a story that goes like this, that this man was searching for his ideal woman, and he traveled all over the world to find that ideal mate. And when he found her, he was so happy. And when he expressed to this lady that you are my ideal person, my ideal mate, we call it soulmate, the woman looked at him and laughed, and she said, you are not my soulmate, you are not my ideal man. And that man's heart was broken. So sometimes we settle for less with the relationships that we have today. But here is the $1 million question. Based on what you know about your significant other, if you met her on the road, if you engaged her or him on the road today, based on your experience with her now or with him now, would you approach her or would you approach him? Would you still want to be in a relationship with that person? Does that person make you feel better about yourself? Or do they break you down every moment? Or do they break you down every opportunity they get? So it is important for us to find the right person, the right mate, the person that can make you happy, the person that can make you feel like you can fly even though you don't have wings. How do you deal with problems? How do you deal with stress? Do you know how to communicate with each other? Do you feel that this person is the person that I want to commit myself to? And if so, why? Do you have those honest conversations with your significant other? Is your significant other understanding to you on your struggle? Do they make you feel appreciated? Do you feel like you can love this person honestly? Is your significant other a forgiving person? What can you do to make the relationship better? Do you really feel that this is the direction that I want to travel in? And these are questions that we must ask. One of the things we find in life is that people are asking the questions when they are 1 year, 2 years, 3 years in the relationship. But these questions must be asked before the relationship reaches to the point where you made that commitment to stay. Before you commit to any relationship, it is in your best interest to take the time to know the person. Know enough before you commit. Know a little bit about who they are. Know a little bit about their family history, their culture, their religious belief. Know how the person deals with stressful moments, difficult situations. Is this a person who is committed to communicating effectively under all circumstances? Oftentimes we see the person looks good, and we want to commit to the outer person. And it's after we get the chance to know more about the outer person, then that is when we want to know more about the inner qualities. But the first thing you need to do is to get to know the inner quality, the inner person, the inner man or woman of the individual. Because sometimes when you choose to commit after the fact, it is too late, and you find that life just won't cut you a break. So it is important to get to know the person, all aspects of his or her life, before you commit to that person. Because sometimes when you make that mistake, it's very difficult to undo, especially if you bring a child in this world. And this is one of the reasons why innocent children are struggling so much, because of the issues that the parents are experiencing. And because they were not equipped in the beginning to deal with these situations, the children now have to suffer for the mistakes of the parents. So it is important to get to know the person well. Have those discussions. Have those conversations. Talk about the future. Talk about the past. Talk about how I can make you happy, how I can bring forth the positivity in your life, and what are some of the things that you need me to do, so I know in advance what I need to do before I commit to something. And also be careful, because sometimes when you don't get to know the person, they will tell you all those great things that you want to hear just to have you. And once they have a hold on you, then the true personality comes in. It is best to get to know the person well before you make the decision to commit. So don't make the mistake to be in a relationship without first committing in your mind what you're able to do. Don't make up the rules as you go along, because if you do, you will find yourself feeling frustrated, feeling sad, feeling disappointed, and then you will experience depression. You don't want to be walking around with no purpose. You don't want to be walking around feeling uninspired, feeling hopeless. And the person that you have in your corner today will determine whether you fail or determine whether you are successful in life. Sometimes in relationship, we use our conversation to break the other person. We are in the relationship to prove who is better. But a relationship that is based on these things will never last. It will never stand up to the test of time. So whoever you are or wherever you are right now, think on these things. Do you honestly want to commit to the person that you're living with? Do you feel the love? Does this person make you feel stronger? Does this person make you feel better about yourself? Is this a relationship that will bring forth great offsprings? Life is not a joke. My name is Dr. Gregory Horton. Thank you very much for listening.